Earlier this year, I set out with a goal to get this to the Cleetus and Cars event on April 20th, which was also my birthday. Unfortunately, that didn't happen for a number of reasons, so I wanted to make this video to give you an idea of what you can expect on the channel this coming summer and beyond. So my plan was to get the $500 F-150 project back on the road to tow the Sonata to that event, and it didn't happen, but I got really close. So you haven't seen this, but I've done a full suspension overhaul, and as you can see, I also got the engine back in the truck. There's still a good bit of work left. I gotta do all the wiring and intake manifold, exhaust, starter, stuff like that, but the engine is back in the truck, so I got really close. Since that Cleetus and Cars event didn't work out, I started to consider what else we could do, and I think I have a pretty good idea of what's coming next in terms of events on the channel. So despite being covered in a thick layer of pollen because I haven't driven it in a while, the Sonata's actually in a really good spot, and it doesn't need that much more work. Really, as I've shared in some other videos, I gotta work on the wiring. There's like a valve cover and an oil pan gasket leak, which are not gonna be hard. Then some other small things, like I gotta take the airbag out of the steering wheel just for safety's sake. But other than that, some small stuff like tires and maybe suspension work, this is in a really good spot. So I can say with 100% certainty that we're gonna get this thing to a track day event this summer. I won't let you down because then I'd be letting myself down. So this is definitely going to see a track day this summer in the very near future. With the Sonata basically already being stripped and it has a really nice seat in it, it's a great candidate for more track days. And of course, it being front wheel drive pretty much means that that's about all it's good for. It can't really go drifting or anything like that, but it is a great platform and it's pretty much ready to go. Speaking of front wheel drive, this is about the exact opposite in every way. 300 horsepower, it also is turboed, so maybe not exact opposite in every way, but rear wheel drive, manual, BMW wagon, turbo. I love this car. It's dialed in, tune is in really good shape, and I'm super happy with everything on this car. So I started to wonder, what can we do with this thing? For quite a few years, this was my daily driver. I absolutely love this car, and I'll basically never get rid of it. The problem now being that I pretty much ruined this car. It's super loud, it's super vibraty, it's smelly, but it's really fast and it's really fun to drive. So I mean, there's really only one thing we can do with a turbo rear-wheel drive wagon manual car, right? Yes, definitely. That combination is just calling out to be drifted. So I'm making this video for two reasons. First of all, to share with you why so much truck content has been coming out recently. This isn't necessarily the most interesting project or platform ever. To me, it's been so much fun, but the thing is, it's gonna be such a workhorse because of course, this truck can tow over 8,000 pounds, which means that both of the project cars can be taken to track days all over the country. And if you subscribe for a specific car, I totally understand, and I really appreciate you sticking around despite me posting, stuff like multiple truck videos back to back. And the second reason I wanted to make this video is that I'm just a few subscribers away from 1,000 in less than a year, which is just totally insane and unbelievable. So I wanted to personally thank you for subscribing and sticking around. My goal from the outset with this channel and kind of my guiding light is to make the type of content that I would want to watch. And so the fact that that clearly resonates with you is just super awesome. I appreciate that so much. So that's essentially the plan in a nutshell. Get the Sonata to a track day as soon as possible and get the BMW to a drifting event as soon as possible. You probably know drifting events are more common, and there's one actually much closer to me than any other track day event, so that will probably happen sooner rather than later. So the rough schedule in the short term is going to be 2 more truck videos, then it will be running and back on the road. Then we can work on the Sonata, and by that time it should be about time to go do some summer driving events. Super excited about that. Again, thank you so much for your support and for sticking around. A lot more cool stuff to come over the next few weeks and months. As always, if you've made it to the end of the video, you're a total badass. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.